everyone. Welcome to Virtual Veg Fest Live. This is Helene, and we were powered by the Plant Based Network. And let's start off by saying thank you to those who donate raffle prizes to us that you can enter to win just by going to virtualvegfest.com and picking enter to win. It's a nice little graphic, and you can win prize packs from Hodo Foods, Follow Your Heart, Crafters Organics, and Orgain. And if you donate to our Pass the Buck campaign, really easy to do, also on our website. For every dollar that you donate to Compassion Works International, you'll get entered to win a prize pack from Follow Your Heart for each dollar that you enter. So that's in addition to those prize packs. That thank you to them for donating that so that you can win some really cool prizes. And you can see on our Virtual Veg Fest YouTube, there's a video of the stuff that you can win from Follow Your Heart. It's a lot. I've received one. Amazing. Something you definitely want to look at. So make sure you subscribe to Virtual Veg Fest on YouTube. We're really trying to grow that. We really appreciate it. Plus, when you enter that raffle, it's one of the things you can do to try and win. Now, Compassion Works International, thanks to them for sponsoring our lives this month. It's a perk of being our Pass the Buck campaign person. Now, what else do I normally say? Well, what are we doing today? We're going to talk about the devoted barn. One of our followers, one of the people that watched, Linda, referred me to them and to have Melissa on. They are up in Holly, Michigan. It's snowing. It's actually a brisk 30 degrees, which is so much better than a -9 temperature that they had the other day. And we're going to have a conversation about what they do, what animals that they save, their feral dog program. COVID is going to come into this because it's had an impact physically because they both got sick from it, and more. And plus, like, I love supporting sanctuaries. I think I've had a lot of them on. More will be coming on. And just another option for you to donate to help. Like, these sanctuaries have really been hit hard by COVID, so they can't really have a lot of people come and tour and do the things they normally do to raise funds. So we're going to bring Melissa on. If you have any questions or comments, say hi. Let us know where you're from, where you're watching from. Questions, comments, we'll definitely address all of them. Hey, Melissa, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I am good. I know it's funny. It's like you were just talking to me for 20 minutes. No. But to
Right.
everyone else, it's brand new. So I'm really glad that you're here and that Linda said to reach out because just the 20 minutes of talking with you was, helped me to understand what you do and the 170 plus animals that are in your care and the types of programs that you have. You easily look at the website and there's Linda. He just said, hi, Helene and
Hi,
Mel.
Linda.
Hi, Linda. Well, we knew she would be here. She asked me what the schedule
Yep,
was, so she'd make sure
absolutely.
she was home. So, I mean,
For sure.
I would love for you to share who you are, what the Devoted Barn is, and like pretty much anything that you want everyone to hear.
So we are a 53-acre rehabilitation farm slash sanctuary, 54-acre, I'm sorry, slash rehab slash sanctuary. We do have a very large feral dog program, which is what is our main focus. Has been, why I first found this organization was our feral dog program. We have since grown it to include all of our farm animals, horses, various, we do take in some birds. We have some geese and ducks and hevettes and chickens, roosters, things like that in the past too. But for the most part, our main focus is any animal from extreme cruelty and neglect or completely feral. We also do major medical. So we do a lot of special needs animals. That includes, we have a lot of dogs with severe birth defects like cleft palates and megaesophagus, hydrocephalus. We have cows. We have one cow that has a prosthetic leg. We have another cow that had to have shoulder fusion surgery. So we do a lot of major medical as well. And then completely feral, so we have feral cows, we have feral sheep, we have a lot of feral dogs.
Well, that's fantastic that you take in the animals that are less likely to be taken care of and more likely to be euthanized if they end up in
Exactly.
a city shelter, county
Yep.
shelter type scenario. So, as
Right.
Jennifer said, hi Jennifer, thank you for joining us too.
Hi, Jen.
And then here's
And Jen
Rhonda.
Jen runs our nursery. So she runs we have an offsite nursery for our moms and puppies, and so she runs that.
Oh, that's awesome. And then Rhonda's here. She says hi, Rhonda Gelstein. So hi, Rhonda. Thank you for joining
Hey,
us.
Rhonda.
So how'd you get into this?
Oh my gosh. So a long time ago, I had a crazy idea to, I think we all just want to fix the problem, right? So we see all these animals that are extremely abused, unthinkable things, like we've had dogs with arrows through their head. We had a pig with an arrow through her snout. We've had, I can't even count how many dogs that have been shot. We've had 11 dogs that were sexually assaulted. So you see all these horrific things. And I think, any of us in the rescue world just want to fix it, right? We just want to make it not. And to me, the ideas I had were to take, the kids, which obviously is our future. So if you take the kids that are not getting taught compassion and empathy at home or in school or wherever, and if we partner them with these animals from these horrific situations, the animals have a better way of teaching compassion and empathy than people do. I do a lot of speaking in schools, and over the years, if I get up and talk to a school, they'll listen to me, and they might retain some of it. But if I bring an animal that has been abused, or if I bring a special needs animal, they just relate to it more, and they have the animals just has they're more powerful. Their lessons are more powerful than ours. So I had that idea, and then I was making it happen, which wasn't the easiest thing to do. But, if you're determined and you stick to it, you can do it. So that's what I did.
Oh, that's awesome. So I know you started this in 2010, but for how long? How long did you have the idea before it became the reality?
Oh, gosh. Quite a few years. I mean, I've been rescuing animals since I was a little kid, and my parents, were the avid fishermen, and they would clean the fish, and I would fill the bathtub, and I would try to save them. So I've been doing that since I was really little. So it's been a long time, long time. So I had that idea for a very long time. Putting it, to actually make it come, putting in the work to actually make it happen took a little bit longer for me to get there, but so
Well,
we
yeah,
did. So
it takes money to rescue.
yeah, actually, when I opened the first farm, I didn't have any of that. I had just gotten divorced. I was a single mother of 5 kids with absolutely no money, and yeah, that's what I did.
Five
I always say,
kids.
if you wait to have money, if you wait till you can afford to do it, you will never do
Never
it.
do it.
So you just have to bite the bullet and trust that it'll work out.
No, I agree 100%. You're right. If people waited until every T was crossed and every I was dotted,
Wouldn't happen.
you'll never move forward.
Nope.
You have to take on an element of risk and
That's
just
100%.
think it
Yep.
through. And if coming from a good heart, in a good place, I mean, people
Yeah.
are going to gravitate towards someone that cares as much as it seems you do for the animals.
Yeah. And
And
most of the times, though, I don't think I think it through. You just got to do it. I think I just act without thinking, which I think drives everybody in my organization crazy, but usually works out.
Lauren said Mel is such an inspiration to us all. So
I don't know about that, but I'm just crazy.
well,
But you got to be crazy to do this, right?
yes, I know enough of you. That is 100% true.
Yeah,
There's just
for sure.
you don't just deal with the fact that you're only slightly crazy. Jennifer just said, only slightly in the good crazy, the good crazy.
The good, right? The good
Right.
kind of crazy.
We got lots of comments. Like drives says crazy you. Oh, there we go. And
Yeah,
then
these are all my they're volunteers, but I call them barn family because to me they're not just volunteers, they're family because I couldn't do any of this without them. So, but I do
yes.
drive them crazy.
Well, but they follow, like as Jennifer just said, but
Right,
we
exactly.
follow. That's awesome.
Exactly.
I'm so glad that you're all here and supporting this live talk with Melissa. I really appreciate it too. I mean, you I like completely lost my train of thought. I mean, I do know enough people that run sanctuaries and you get crap, you get shit
Oh, yeah.
on, you get support, but
Hmm.
you do enough that makes it worth it. And plus the animals.
Yeah,
I mean, every day.
definitely. 100%. I mean, there's just to go through a full day of what we actually do here. I don't think people really have the full picture. Like we're in the middle of a blizzard. So, I mean, we're putting in, 16, 17-hour days and negative degree temperatures, pounding out ice buckets and making sure everyone has, fresh food and water and straw if there are outdoor farm animals. And our days don't end, and then once they do, our chores end for the day and we get in the house and it's 10, 11 o'clock, then I have my personal dogs I got to deal with, take care of. And that doesn't even include the stress of, finances and paying bills and thinking about, when is our next fundraiser and how are we going to fundraise right now in the middle of COVID and, all those things that play a part. So,
So, since people don't really know what your day is like, let's go over it.
mm-hmm.
What
All
is your
right.
day like? Let's do it.
Well, it's funny. I actually just did a post on my personal page about this yesterday. So I get up early. I'm usually up. My alarm goes off every morning at 6, but I usually get up. I'm usually waking up about 4 or 5 a.m. Always check all my messages just to make sure, we have coverage for the day. When you think about 170 animals here at the farm that all need to be fed, their enclosures need to be cleaned. They need water. They need socialization. They need work. All of our animals are fearful of people. So a huge part of what we do is spending time with them. So it's a lot that has to get done in a day. So I always check first thing to make sure every shift is covered for every area, whether it's the dog room or our special needs dogs or the farm animals or horses or whatever. And then if everything is all good, then I usually go back to sleep for an hour or two. And then I get up and I start cleaning my house. I still have to do dishes and I start off every day by sweeping and mopping my house because I like to start the day with a clean house. So and then I get my kid up. All of you moms out there that are doing the virtual learning know how difficult that is. So up and at least awake enough to start school. And then I head out for the day and start doing first. And it's, I have to water, especially right now. We have a full crew that takes care of our farm animals. But because this winter is just brutal right now, I want to help, make it easier on everybody. So I've taken over watering and feeding all of our cows, our farm animals, which is our sheep and our goats, that pasture, and then watering the pigs. So I do that. And then horses, got to feed and take care of the horses. And then we start it all over again. It's like continuous throughout the day, It's funny. My boyfriend just said to me last week, he's like, I didn't realize being in a relationship with you, I would be intermittently fasting all the time. Like, well, I don't think about food throughout the day because I'm constantly on the go, from one area to the next. And, we never know when things happen. Like yesterday, I got a call, some guy dropped off a duck that was injured. So now I have to take care of this duck that was injured. One of our senior alpacas went down the other day and is not doing good. So that, is going to throw a wrench in my day. So, it's just things like that throughout the day that happen. Always. And then if I have to cover a shift in the dog room or with our special needs dogs, that's in there as well. What does she say? Always pack a sandwich. Yeah, I know he hasn't figured that out yet. That's kind of the ongoing theme with me is when you're around me, pack a sandwich because I usually don't stop for food. There's no time for that. Obviously, I have to get on here and I have to do, I love to do our social media and I try to do live videos so we can update our supporters can be involved, in what we do. And they want updates on all the animals too, and then my day normally ends around, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock. And then I get back in the house and realize I've not done anything I needed to do today. So I have no clean clothes and I need to sweep and mop all over again and all that kind of stuff. So typical day, right?
There's some great comments. These are the best. Just so all of you know, these are the best comments of any live.
That's awesome.
It was like, and is he watching on his own phone? Because, clearly he could drop a few pounds. He was warned of what it would be like to be in a
That's
relationship with
awesome.
you, and he should always pack a
Yeah,
sandwich.
always pack a sandwich. He hasn't learned that yet, so
It's fantastic.
it's his own fault. He was warned.
Yeah.
That's why I was single for a very long time.
Well, I'm glad you have his
He's a brave
support.
soul.
Yes, I'm like really, really glad you have his support and he's there with
Yeah, me
you.
too. He's been amazing because he has been, other than when he's at work. He's a firefighter, so he works 24-hour shifts. So when he's home, he is, you can see, chauffeuring me around the farm to deliver hay and water and grain. So
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs to know that it's kind of like glorified. Oh, you take care of animals. That's so sweet. And you're like, I don't sleep, I don't eat.
yeah,
I
no.
have emergencies. I'm always
Mhm.
looking for people to donate. I always need money.
Yeah,
There's always something that
yeah,
we run out of. There's always something that you can send us. There's always an Amazon wish list. There's it's it doesn't
absolutely.
there's always animals I have to say no
Yep,
to because we can't take on anymore.
right. Every day. And people don't realize, like, even if, especially during COVID, when donations have been so low, they still have to be fed. I was at the farm store a while back and went to pay for our week's grain order, and I handed him my personal debit card, and he's like, "Oh, you handed me the wrong card. You handed me your card." I'm like, "Nope, this week I'm paying for it personally." So, and when I'm paying for it personally, that's coming directly out of my child support and my spousal support from my ex-husband. So that's not, because I don't work. I don't have a paying job. I don't collect a salary to be here. We don't have paid employees here. Everybody is a volunteer. So when we don't have enough donations, then unfortunately I have to take it directly from what I need to be spending on my kids. So it's not the easiest life. It definitely, I think, though, people see the fun parts. We only post the fun stuff, right, on
Right.
social media. People don't want to see how difficult it really is, but that is the truth behind it,
Yeah, it's a passion of love.
for sure.
I mean,
Absolutely. But we get, the reward is when we get the feral dog that wags its tail or is excited to see us, or you know we get an adoption, like one of our horses gets adopted that came from a kill pen or something like that. That's definitely the paycheck right there.
oh, for sure. I mean, I mean, you're sitting in a car in 30 degrees, and
And
we can see the snow that's falling behind
mm-hmm.
you, and this is what you're working in. So
Yeah,
yeah, this is what you're working in, and I totally get it. You've devoted your life. That's why it's called the devoted barn
yep,
to the
absolutely,
animals. I mean, what a perfect name too.
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah, and all of our volunteers. I mean, like I said, again, I couldn't do any of this without them, because there's no way that I could take care of a house and them. I mean, sure, could I make sure they have food and water and shelter every day? Absolutely. But I could not give them the time that each one needs to get them to a point of either being up for adoption and going into their own home, or just being comfortable and not living in fear to have a good life here. So without them, we definitely couldn't, we wouldn't exist.
yeah, no, thank you to the volunteers. Everything I do, because I run a nonprofit, couldn't do what I do without volunteers. So I totally understand. The work to help me is way less. The work to help
Especially in
you.
this weather.
Yes, I mean, I know because I mean, Linda would come from Canada to help you.
Yeah, yeah,
So you have
absolutely.
international volunteers.
We do. Yeah, it's amazing. They're absolutely amazing.
So COVID, that got, I mean, oh wait, we have a question. We have a comment from Jennifer first. You would have less animals and less disasters without me, though.
That's probably true. But I wouldn't have nearly as much fun.
Well, okay, that's fair. That's a balance. So
Hmm.
both of you were impacted by COVID, and I don't mean like we
Yes.
can't have people here at the farm to help, to donate or like that thing, but you actually had COVID.
Yes, very badly actually. I was down for about 6 weeks. And you can still see, like, if I start talking a lot, I have to like take a deep breath because my breathing isn't fantastic. So my lungs were definitely impacted. Still have a lingering cough, months later. But we made it through. We're definitely the fortunate ones that we survived it. But it definitely had its impact for sure. Like physically, doing the workload that I do has been impacted by it, no doubt.
Yeah, that's really scary. I mean, it's no joke. I
Yeah,
mean, COVID's serious. I'm glad that you're okay. I mean, we talked about it. You actually had to go to the hospital at one point.
I did. Yeah, I did. But you know what? The amazing thing, and again, I was down for 6 weeks where I didn't come out of the house. I couldn't come out of the house. And then weeks after that, just trying to get strength up again. But nothing stopped here. The animals, their care never stopped. The volunteers never wavered. So they were amazing through all of that.
That's incredible. And your house is on the property, I'm guessing, right?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm sitting in my driveway.
I mean, again, volunteers, everyone who's on this, everyone who sees this, I'm so impressed. I mean, I know a lot of the sanctuaries they all have devoted people that come, but to have the security to be going through something that could potentially take your life, right? You can make you
Right.
really sick, and you be a long
Hmm.
hauler. I mean, to have the security of knowing you've got such a great team.
Yeah, they're amazing, and it's funny because but most of our volunteers kind of pick one area to work in. So they either they focus on the dog room, or they focus on the farm animals, or they focus on the equine. And in the middle of this, we had a little special needs horse, a little baby colt, and we have since lost him. But during that, he needed a lot of daily care. Picking him up, he couldn't get up on his own, and it was really amazing for me to sit in the house, super sick, but watch people that have never touched a horse before come out of our dog room and work with him every day and do his physical therapy every day. So it was pretty incredible, pretty humbling for me to watch that every day.
Oh, that's wonderful. It really is. So one of the things I read on your website was that you have kids and adults with disabilities. I think come to the
Mm-hmm.
farm and help.
Yes, we haven't. So we moved. This is our second farm. At our first farm, which we outgrew, we had a special needs program where twice a week we had our adult special needs come and spend time with us for a few hours a day, and it was amazing. Up here, because we've only been here a year and a half, right when we were getting ready to start that up here is when COVID hit. So I miss it. I can't wait to start that program again. It's amazing. It's so beneficial for our animals, especially our feral dogs who don't have good experiences or any experiences with people, to see and to interact with people of all shapes, all sizes that might move a little differently or are in a wheelchair or total care in a wheelchair. It's so beneficial for them to prepare them for life outside of here, when they get out into a home. So it's definitely a program that I've missed having for the last year that we've been up here, and I can't wait to have it in full swing again because we had it very successfully down at our old farm for about 6 years. So it's pretty remarkable.
That is, I mean, help people and animals. They tend to go hand in hand, and
Absolutely.
the mental benefit, for both, you know, is
Definitely. And it's fun to watch the animals respond. Like we have one horse that I rescued out of a pretty bad situation about, oh my gosh, 12, 13 years ago. And she's a little spitfire. And she came to us angry and hated people and not the friendliest horse. When she's one that I always have when we have our special needs friends out, or when we take them to places where we're doing things with special needs. And it's amazing to watch her whole demeanor soften, and she just becomes this like little mush of a horse that wants to nuzzle them, and she puts her head down and walks right next to them. And it's that to me is amazing just to watch that.
it's like she knows.
Absolutely. They 100% do. Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that you said before we went live is that when it comes to people like understanding and relating, is that you don't pressure people to feel a certain way, but you let the animals do the talking,
Absolutely. Yep.
right?
Absolutely. To me it's more of, I could sit here and lecture people about eating bacon or pork products, and you might listen to me, but you probably won't. But if I let you get to know, Parker or Nugget and Andy, and if people watch the adventures I went through raising Nugget and Andy in my home, who are now, 600-pound farm pigs, if you see their silly antics of, running through my house, or when I had them in hotel rooms because they had to travel with me. I think to me that's going to have a greater impact on whether people decide to stop eating meat than me just simply telling you you shouldn't.
100%. They're living sentient beings, and they have
Mm-hmm.
personalities, and pigs are smarter than dogs. And if I've seen it happen where a man at one of my mac and cheese events, the vegan mac and cheese event, there was a little pig there, and after that he said, I can't eat. I can't eat
Right.
pig anymore. I can't
Yep.
eat pork anymore because I just met this adorable piglet.
Right.
That's what's on my plate. And he made
And
the correlation. Good.
I've had more people, message us and tell me that they gave up eating pork because of our pigs, Parker and Sunshine. Sunshine has, we did lose her to cancer a few months ago, but those two pigs, we had them for about 5 years, I think have made more impact on people choosing to live a meat free life than me talking ever would have.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for all the animals for doing that. I mean, so we talked also before we went live. I mentioned how farm animals don't tend to get the donations, but cats and dogs do. And you're unique in the sense that you have both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I
Yes.
would. And do you find it difficult? There's my advice. Do you find it difficult to get the donations because the money's going to go towards farm animals and domestic animals?
Definitely. I think, when we do specific, I'll do a specific post or fundraisers for hay or grain or straw. And right now our farm animals are costing us a lot more than the dog program because it is winter. So we're going through more hay, we're going through more straw. Um, it is a lot more difficult. We will get significantly less donations on those posts than, say, if I took in a dog that had been shot and needed thousands of dollars worth of surgery. We would get that no problem. So there definitely is something there. I'm not 100% sure why, or why that, what's behind that. But there's definitely a difference between our farm animals and even horses. Horses are, I would say, more along the lines of dogs and cats when it comes to that.
So you find that
But
when you
definitely, and I'm not sure what we're doing if we're not showing them enough or showing their stories enough or letting people get to know them as much as maybe the dogs, cats, or horses. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that is, but it's definitely true.
I think if people don't relate, people, most people don't have a pig in their home, or a duck, or
True.
a chicken, or a rooster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have them, but they might not have them for the same reasons that you have
Right.
them,
Right.
right? So,
Very true.
and
Mm-hmm.
when you don't look at the animal as a sentient being, you look at them as a product, as a means
Mm-hmm.
to an end,
Right.
then why would you put money towards that? Well, you put money towards
Right.
them because they actually are he and she's and not its, and they deserve to live, and they show love
Exactly.
and affection. Even chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Like you already mentioned horses. We know that dogs and cats do. Well, so do pigs and chickens and
Mm-hmm.
llamas and geese and ducks and goats and sheep. They all do the same thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if people don't think that, All you need to do is come here in the morning when we're getting ready to feed breakfast to the pigs and they see like, they hear the gator, they see their people coming. Oh my gosh, they get so excited.
This is Jennifer's
They
Jennifer's
definitely feel emotion.
Jennifer's awesome. Just so you know, so Jennifer said some of us have to tell our husbands to go to the gym to shower because you have ducklings in your bathtub.
That might have happened a time or two. I don't know.
Yeah, it
Very
happens.
well could have happened.
It's okay, you know.
It's okay. He's a very understanding husband. Jen's got a good husband because I have thrown some pretty crazy things at her over the years.
So, okay, what other crazy things I'd like to hear?
Oh my gosh. She had two piglets in her house. She bottle fed two piglets for a long time. She took two and I took two.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if she had, I think she's definitely had probably chickens and God only knows what I've put in her house. Lots of weird things. I mean, we had a fawn at one point, just a couple days, enough till we could get him to a wildlife rehab. But yeah, those things that the late night calls like, hey, you want to go to Southern Ohio with me because we have to get a cleft palate puppy, like, you know, or I'm stranded in New Orleans and all the flights have been canceled and I have two heart patient puppies and the only flight I can get out is to New York. So she jumped in a car with one of my other friends and they drove to New York to pick me up. So yeah, we've had some pretty crazy experiences over the years.
That's that's absolutely incredible. A couple of mentions from Jennifer: sheep in a kennel in my bedroom,
Oh
and
yeah, that's a normal thing. I wouldn't even think that's unusual.
right, and then Dodge Journey with turkeys and chickens.
Yeah, that's who doesn't have that? Who doesn't put a cow in their back seat? I don't know why that's not a normal thing. I can tell you at least a dozen people here have had a cow in their back seat.
That's fantastic.
It's
I,
totally normal. Nothing unusual.
and that's what you do. That's what That's what saving animals is all about. That's
Absolutely. Are made for, right?
Yeah. Carrie said that she's one of those people that have had, and she doesn't put cows in her in my backseat.
She does not. Carrie does not put cows in her back seat, but I feel challenged right now. I'm feeling pretty challenged every time she says that. She might come out from chores one night, maybe tonight this week to a cow back seat. Better lock those doors, Carrie.
And then
Better lock that door.
and
You
Nancy
never know
just
what's going to be in there.
yeah, Nancy just said tripod cow at that. So
Yep, Kenny has been in many, many cars. Absolutely. And one of the things that you have a lot of laughter and there's a lot of, I love to pull practical jokes on people because what we do.
oops, I lost you. Oh no. Come back. Uh-oh. Carrie doesn't like to get dirty. That's awesome, Sue. All right, are you there? Because I can't hear you. So she's still connected, but the volume's gone. My doors, Carrie, your doors are always locked. Nope. Okay. I can't hear you. That's so strange. Did you hit the mute button? Can you hear me? I'm not sure. Uh-oh. I can't hear you. Can all of you hear her? I don't think so, because if I can't hear her, you can't hear her. But you can all still hear me, right? Yes, I'm pretty sure you can. That's so weird. Did you hit mute? Can you hear me? Well, she's actually cleared up. I can't hear you. One of the best things, can you hear me? Okay, so one of the best things is go out and come back in. That should clear it up. And I'll carry us forward while we do that. All right, so she's gonna go out and come back in. Okay, definitely thank you for saying that you can hear me and can't hear Melissa. I really appreciate it. You're all amazing, just so you know. Yes, the internet's a little glitchy. It's just like to get dirty. That's fantastic. All right, definitely can hear you now. You all good?
Can you hear me?
Yes. All right, much better. Right, so you're being. We should be able to hear you. Keep talking.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me now, but I can hear you. Oh, she'll be back in a second. Your doors are always locked, and no cows in your car, Carrie. That's really funny. She should be back in a second. Just so you know, we're back on Saturday, Virtual Veg Fest Live with Chef Mason, and we're going to learn all about her opening up her new restaurant in Alabama. That'll be cool. Thank you, Carrie, for saying you could hear both of us, but she couldn't hear me, so that's no good. Michelle should be back in a second. And other than that, so that's at 4 p.m. on Saturday, Eastern Standard Time. There are days when it's better if you can't hear her. Well, that's awesome. Hi, can you hear me? Melissa, I don't think I can hear you though. No, I definitely can't hear you. I can tell because we can't hear the background noise in the car. But that's so strange. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? This is weird because we don't normally have tech issues with this system. You might want to pull the earbuds out and just talk through your phone. It's like sign language, charades. Let's see. Nope. And this is the fun of being live. Which she actually said that, she liked being live and anything can happen. I was really enjoying this conversation. So, oh, I'm sure she'll be back in a second. Kelly, you're really funny. I can't wait to say to her that there are days it's better when you can't hear her. And I totally understand that because I'm sure there are days when I do events that people would rather not hear me. So I can relate to my volunteers feeling that way about me. Let's see. She should be back in a second. Um, okay, so this person, no, don't don't follow this. Bellow person is spam, so please don't do that number or anything like that. All right, so where are we at?
Oh my gosh, I can hear you.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes, you're back. Yay.
Can you? All right, I'm here. And Kelly, I read that comment. You said it's better to sometimes not hear me. Not nice.
Oh, that's so funny. So Jennifer wants to rescue a horse. It's going to auction next weekend, and it's all good. Joseph said to turn your Wi-Fi off, and Melissa's a huge inspiration to so many of us volunteers. Oh, Sue, that's really sweet. Thank you. Well, yeah, I definitely feel the love. And they're just all. Oh, Kelly said, "Oops." Okay.
Yeah, funny Kelly. It's okay. She's probably very true. It's probably very true.
And you're an absolute wealth of knowledge. But I mean, seriously,
Probably a lot of useless knowledge, but there is some knowledge in there.
Sue, Sue is so much nicer than I am. You are all. You're clearly your team is supportive, loving, caring, energetic, supportive,
Yes.
and you've created
Yep.
that.
They are. The one thing, what I was trying to say before we got interrupted by my phone, is we do a lot of joking around and practical jokes because everything we do here is extremely heavy. If you think about just the things we're dealing with today, like I need to make a life or death decision on one of our alpacas we've had for a long time, and I feel like if we don't find humor in dumb things like getting stuck 10 times in one day trying to do the chores, like, you just won't be able to carry on. So we do we do a lot of practical jokes. I try to anyway.
So, Lisa just said you guys are truly an amazing and seem like a great group to be around. Yeah, seriously, I would love to visit, but I won't visit in the winter. And
Oh, come on.
you made a huge impact on Nancy's life, both educational and as well as with friendship. And Joyce just said you amaze her every day. I mean,
Oh, that's my mom. Hi, mom.
oh hi mom. I love when moms join us.
It's probably
Families join
better
us.
now than when I was a kid. I'm sure she could tell you that me trying to save the fish that they caught.
So I mean, seriously, truly an inspiration. And if you could package how to motivate your volunteers for everybody, I think that would be something that others could definitely learn from because you've created this. I mean, this is because of you.
Oh, I think it's more because of them, but thank you.
Well, I know, but there has to be a leader and someone who guides, and you're that shining star.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't take compliments well because I don't see it that way, but thank you.
You're welcome. No, and accolades are not a bad thing, and I totally get being humble and modest is beautiful. It's easy for me to say them. Easy for me to give them to you because that's what I've learned in the last 40 minutes. So your mom is now having conversations. The comments. It's awesome.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not talking about that.
Then and
Hmm.
regarding the compliments, you need to, Mel. You deserve it. So clearly, I'm not
Oh,
the only
thank you.
person who feels that way. So, but at the same time, and yeah, you just have the love, you know, and I know your group is your backbone. I mean, this is really. I mean, seriously, I have an idea for you for fundraising that
All right. We need
I
them. That's for sure.
I definitely seeing the support that you've received just from doing this live. I I will talk to you about it offline so
All
that
right.
we can see if we can get that going. But I believe that we can do a fundraising event for you and do it virtually. And
That would be amazing.
just from this, I definitely feel like we can make that happen. It's just a matter of putting it together and putting it out there and having people pay for tickets and then do donations and highlight the animals and come up with something fun so that you can.
Definitely has to be fun. I'm a big I love fundraisers that are different and fun. I always said if people are coming to one of our events, I want it to I want them to get something out of it, to have fun and enjoy themselves and laugh and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Linda said that the devoted barn is filled with love, safety, healing, and hope because of Mel and Barn family. So yeah, I mean, and then Sue misses Linda. I mean, I was like, really,
I
thank
know
you.
we all miss Linda. I think the one that I think who misses Linda the most are our dogs because she always comes and makes our food bags for our dogs. So with our feral dogs, we don't feed them out of bowls. We feed them we give them enrichment bags for their food because we want to stimulate their brain and tap into the natural side of dogs. Dogs are natural foragers for food. So we make them enrichment bags, and Linda makes the best enrichment bags. I'm telling you, the stuff she brings for them is better than most people eat. So I think the dogs really miss her.
So, what do you mean by an enrichment bag? Tell me more.
So we take a lunch bag, just a brown paper lunch bag that, if the dogs do eat some of it, it's not going to harm them. And then we put in their, dog food. And then we put enrichment stuff in there. So whatever, it could be anything to kind of tap into their senses, their smell and, and dogs are carnivores. So we do put meat products in our dog bags because that is what dogs need. That's what's healthy for their diet. So we do add things like that and you know, liverwurst and brown, things like that. So it just makes it fun for the dogs. Makes it, especially dogs that are in a kennel environment. All our dogs are in 5 by 10 kennels, but they still need that something to, make their brain think and give them some more enrichment in their life. So that's what we do.
Oh, how interesting. I don't know what would happen
Hmm.
if I have three dogs, so I don't know what would happen if I was like, well, here's your food.
Yeah, well, so we put it in a. I wish I had one. I didn't even show you, but we put it in the brown paper bag, and then we roll the bag up, and then seal it with something good, like cheese or something like that. That'll seal it, and then they have to figure out how to open it. So, and they love it. Oh my gosh, they get so excited to get it. They like it, run up and they grab it out of your hands. It's really fun actually to feed the dogs because they get so excited for it.
I have one of my dogs is a Japanese chin, so she's small and she's got the messed up teeth.
Hmm.
So she might just like look at it and be like, "You need
Right.
to do
What
something
is
about
that?
this."
Yep.
This is
Well,
not how
all
I
of our
eat.
dogs, all of our dogs, because 99% of our dogs are feral dogs and they're used to, dogs are natural hunters. They want to hunt for their food. So it just, it just kind of taps into their own instincts.
I should try that with my cats.
Hmm. Oh, yeah. Cats would love it too. All of our animals, we give enrichment. We do a lot for the pigs. We get the big, the water, the big 5-gallon water things, Cheerios or fun things in that, and they push it around and just fun stuff for them.
That's really cool. I'm so glad you brought that up because I mean that's I know that others do like Enrichment. I know like chickens have done like some art and mirrors are really
Hmm.
important. So
Yeah,
yeah, and then of course the interaction with the people, especially
yeah,
working with the feral dogs, so that maybe someday they can have a home of their own and
absolutely. That
and
is our goal.
be loved every single day, by just one family as opposed to like this whole
Right.
volunteer family.
Exactly. I mean, they have the best of both worlds here. I mean, they get that interaction with lots of different people, but they also have, for our feral dogs, the farm is a great first step for them because living in a home is very scary. Can you imagine the sensory overload of taking a feral dog and putting him right into a home? So it's kind of like the halfway. They get used to going in and out of doorways. They get used to a roof over their head. They get used to people, different textures on the floor. Um, and that prepares them in a less pressured environment for life inside a home. And then once they're done here, then we do get them into homes, and then they have to learn all about living in a house, and
Yep.
microwaves going off and smells coming out of the oven and, vacuum cleaners, all that kind of stuff to a feral dog.
Right. For pretty much any animals. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
one dog barks at the vacuum cleaner.
Oh my gosh, my little bulldog, who is a cleft palate bulldog, she thinks it's the biggest, threat to me, and she wants to kill the vacuum every time it's out. It's hilarious.
That's every day.
Every day, every single day. Yep.
Every morning, something's coming out to
Hmm.
kill you.
Yep. She thinks that. Jen can tell you. She's seen me do vacuum many times, and yeah, Doodle is her name. She has to attack it.
That's adorable.
She's funny.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much, like so much, for sharing about you and the Devoted Barn, and your volunteers, the love that they have for you, and everything that you do. Is it overwhelmingly came through in this talk?
They're amazing. They're amazing. And this place is much, I try not to complain about all the work because it is a lot of work. But at the end of the day, I always say I go to bed at night. I probably won't sleep because I don't sleep very much, but I can at least lay down knowing that throughout the day, all we've done is try to make the lives better of the animals here. And I can tell you that every single one of our volunteers, but I don't even like to say the word volunteer because to me they're family. So I
Yep.
call them barn family. They all feel the same way. Everything we do here throughout the day is to make the lives better of these animals that otherwise chance. The animals we have here are animals that would not have made it anywhere else.
Yeah, I'm glad that you created something for them so that there is a place. I mean, seriously, so there's a place for them, and that's the Devoted Barn. You don't
Yep.
sleep.
And you definitely should come visit. Maybe not when we have a blizzard going on, but any other time of the year.
Yeah, I have family in Michigan, so the possibilities Like, summer is beautiful there.
It's beautiful. And this property is so beautiful. So our new property is, we have 4 ponds. It's just so pretty and it's so peaceful here. Like our animals have made so much more progress being here at this farm just because of the environment. It's just so serene and beautiful here. So
Oh,
definitely
that's
a good place
awesome.
to visit.
Well, very cool. So to reach out to you and to make a donation, how do people do it?
You can go to our website, which is www.thedevotedbarn.org, or you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. Instagram is just Devoted Barn, and Facebook is The Devoted Barn.
I mean, devoted barn. Let me correct. Instagram is devoted barn. Okay, that should work. All right, very cool. There's a capital A, but it's okay. So, thank you. I look forward to sharing my ideas with you. And
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having us on too. We appreciate it very much.
yeah, no, this was fantastic. With people I don't know, I never know what will what will come, but this like expectations blown away,
You can
and
always count on us to be entertaining.
I love it, and I love what you're doing, and thank you for taking care of the animals, and thank you for everything that you do, because I get that it's not easy, and I will do everything I can to support you in what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's the least I can do from North Carolina. Least I can
Where it's
do.
warm.
Well, warmer. It's cold out today, but
Warmer.
warmer. well,
Warmer than here.
well, thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon.
All right, sounds
All right,
good. Thank you very much.
no
You
problem.
guys
Bye,
have a great
Melissa.
day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this really lively talk and for the Devoted Barn family. Thank you. If you could go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Virtual Veg Fest, I would greatly appreciate it. And you can see more talks like this one because we definitely hit up a lot of sanctuaries and health and climate and animals, and you might find interest there. So first of all, or last of all, make sure you wear a mask over your nose, under your chin. Incredibly important when you go outside or if you're around people. If you're inside, especially, wear a mask and make sure you wear it correctly. Like this doesn't help you. Why? Because your nose is connected to your lungs, and that means that you could get COVID. Because it renders this useless if you don't wear it correctly. Now, KN95 mask, you might want to get some of those. Wear that, and then wear your nice mask, like your fun cotton mask that's not as protective. Wear that over your KN95 mask. Why do you want a double mask? Because there's variants of COVID out there. You're welcome, Linda. There's variants of COVID out there, and they're more like contagious. So 2 masks, better than 1 mask. A more secure KN95 mask. Get those. It's really good. And if you are so inclined to get takeout, curbside pickup, food trucks, support your local restaurants that support plant-based and vegan food, either plant-based vegan restaurants or supportive plant-based vegan restaurants that have those items on their menu. Go buy some food if you have the means. It's the hardest thing for them to get through a pandemic. They can't ship you food really, and I want them to be there when we get through with COVID and the pandemic to go sit down in a restaurant again. I want my favorite restaurants to be there when we're through this, which maybe next year. But that's what I'd like. So on Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, one of the people actually has a restaurant is joining us, and that's Chef Mason, and she's the veggie in Huntsville, Alabama. You'll get to know her and meet her on Saturday at 4 p.m. And that's what we're going to do. Have a good rest of your week. Please be careful. I love the Devoted Barn. Thank you, Trish. That's fantastic. And Paige, thank you as well. And Linda, thank you. I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, be safe. The weather across the country, not so great. So wherever you are, be safe, take care of yourself, social distance, and be kind. And I will see you on Saturday. Thanks. Bye.